Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sari and this is day 16 of the Simplify Your Life Challenge for 2022. This challenge is based on an ebook by YouTuber muchelleb. I will link both her channel and the ebook in the bar down below. There's also a playlist where you can follow along with this whole challenge from the beginning, and I will link that up here on the screen. So with that, let us get into day 16, where we reflect on the first half of the challenge. Today, we're not actually decluttering. We're just reflecting on our 15 days of decluttering before we move on to the mental and the emotional decluttering. So we're going to take a step back from all the chaotic and exhausting work of going through all of our belongings and organizing our space and purging things from our life. And we're just going to take a week to think about it. And we're going to celebrate our wins. And we're going to celebrate how far we've come. As we go through this, it is important to remember that simplifying looks different for everyone. There is no magic number of things you need to own or percentage of things you should have gotten rid of. All of the articles and the books and the media that says, oh, you should only own a capsule wardrobe of no more than 100 items, or one set of makeup that you use every single day, or whatever. That's fine. But at the end of the day, we are all individuals and you need to do what works for you. We're all in different places, metaphorically and physically. So the only person we should be judging ourselves against is us. You can't measure progress against me because you don't live in my space. You don't live the same life I live. You don't need the same items that I need on a regular basis. You're only measuring your progress against yourself and your own goals. You set your guiding questions, and you're the one who knows how you want your space to look, how you want this to feel, where you want to be at the end of all of it. Similarly, as we wrap up the formal physical declutter portion of this, I want to remind you that it's okay if you aren't where you want to be just yet. You've still done a lot of work and you've made a lot of progress. And this week is all about celebrating that progress as well as acknowledging what still needs to be done. Remember that this is a journey. Just because this challenge moves ahead week by week, that doesn't mean that you can't or you shouldn't take longer on some things if you need to, or circle back and revisit some of these challenges either now or as it comes to you, or especially if you feel they're unfinished and you're not ready to move on to the rest of this because there's still this thing lingering somewhere that you want to handle. I still, even after last week's find a place for all the things, have boxes sitting in my house that I still need to find something to do with. I haven't done it yet. I still have a whole bookshelf full of things I need to deal with. I still have all the media from Plex that I'm slowly going through, but I haven't had the time to get it done. So there are things that I know are going to be leaving, but they're still here. I still have furniture that I haven't gotten rid of. I still hate the TV stand. I still don't have a new dresser. Decluttering happens in stages, and it is okay to go back and do this all again. Yearly, monthly, half a year, as your life needs it, and as you feel ready to do it. What we're doing with this challenge is setting the stage, building our toolkit, gaining the knowledge, motivating and inspiring ourselves to do what we can with what we have where we're at. When any of those things change, or when we feel like we have the energy to go back in, then we go back in. Ultimately, The first half of this challenge is about decluttering away the parts of the past that no longer serve us or give us positive energy or forward progress. So that in the second half of the challenge, we can do the work to start moving forward. Once we've set ourselves up to move forward, we may actually find that a lot of the things that we kept because we thought they would serve us, we thought we would need them, and we thought that we wanted them or they would make us happy, actually don't. And that it may not be useful to us, and that it may, in fact, be holding us back. So I actually think it's good to circle back around and do a mini version of the first 15-day physical declutter once we're done with all of the mental, emotional work. The bottom line, though, is that this does not have to be perfect. It just has to feel better to you. It has to feel like you have made forward progress and that you are in a better place than you were where you started in some way. Hopefully, going through all of your belongings has made you a more conscious consumer, more conscious about what you're buying, what you're bringing into your space. Remember that you have just done all of this hard work of sifting through everything you own and sending a lot of it to landfills, because sometimes a lot of the stuff you donate, it also goes to the landfill because they don't sell it. We can virtue signal and say, oh, but I donated 7 boxes of stuff. Okay, well, maybe 3 boxes went out on the sales floor and the rest of it, no. Knowing that, why would we want to carry on with our same habits of buying things that we don't need and probably won't use? Or will probably use once or twice and then have to throw out later? The habits we're building here are not just about cleaning and organization. They're also about being thoughtful and using our guiding questions to really evaluate every single thing we purchase before we buy it and bring it into our home. With that, here are the questions I'm asking myself this week as I reflect. And I would also love to hear your questions or your answers to these questions in the comments. So let me know. Let's all do a little reflecting, and you can comment on what you think my progress is, I guess. That's fine. I can take it. You can be like, you still have too many clothes. Yes, you're correct. All right. So here we go. Let me know what you think in the comments, or what questions are you asking? What questions should I be asking myself that I'm not asking myself? Whatever. Am I satisfied with how much I've gotten rid of? Yes and no. I think that for a first pass, I have done a very good job. Better than usual. I always say, I do this at the beginning of every year. I clean out my wardrobe and drawers and stuff, and I do it for a week, and it's never everything because I have so much stuff that you can't possibly get to it all in 1 week. And so I do it, and then I give up on the rest of it because I don't have time. So I feel good because I just kept going, and I really went through it all except the basement. I didn't just go, oh, well, I cleared out my wardrobe, so that's fine. Oh, well, I cleared out the books, so that's fine. Oh, well, I cleaned these drawers over here, so that's fine. I did all of it, and it was a lot. It's a little bit hard because it left in stages, and I think had I put it all in one spot together and taken it all away at the same time, I would have been astounded. But I still have way too much stuff. And that is where it doesn't feel that good, because I'm like, man, I just got rid of so much stuff and I still have too much stuff. And I'm having a hard time identifying anything else to get rid of. But I probably should. It's certainly satisfying to see so much less clutter around my house and so much more space in my environment. Getting rid of the furniture was the biggest one because the visual sight lines and just the openness that I feel now is so much better in a way that I did not know I needed. That said, where I am now, I think, is where most people start with this challenge. And I need to do a lot of work to better identify what I do and don't still need or want or use. My wardrobe most particularly, because I'm still like, oh, but I could use that. Oh, I might wear that. And I've been doing the work of what have I worn this year. So currently we are almost at the end of March, and I have worn 50% of what is still in my wardrobe, according to my app and my tracking. And that's pretty impressive. So it's hard because I'm like, well, I still wear it. But I also think that I could get rid of a lot of t-shirts and I wouldn't notice. Not so much anything else. Like my dresses and my work clothes and my work outfits are pretty pared down to the point that I'm starting to wonder if I have not enough pairs of work appropriate pants in the event that I have to go back to an office ever again. I actually had to buy some cardigans because I didn't have enough. So I got rid of all of them. So I'm at a point right now where I was just pulling out things to wear this week and was like, oh, these two blazers of this cardigan are all in the wash and I don't know what else to wear over these dresses because those are the things that match with them. So I'm going to have to get a little creative, which is good. That's a good thing. I need to push myself to get more creative instead of like, oh, but I always wear this blazer with this dress and that blazer is not available to me. So now I don't know what to do. If you can only wear one thing with one thing, then those things are not serving you. I need to still do that work. And I'm really hoping to use the second half of this challenge to gain more clarity around what I do need and what I don't need. I also have a lot of things that I identified as things that will be leaving, but for various reasons, they haven't left yet. So until that happens, I cannot say that my decluttering is done because I still need to put in that work to copy the DVDs and check the files, read the books, get the eBooks, get the audiobooks, sell all of the things, take the 4 remaining boxes to wherever they need to go, figure out where they need to go and then take them there, get rid of the shelves. Until I do that, I'm not done and I will not feel done and ready to fully move on until I do that. I honestly haven't had the time to do all of it because it's a lot. So I am doing some of it. I'm not even going to say I'm doing the best I can. I could be doing better, but we'll get there, I think. I'm very proud of myself for how much work I've put in, but I still have a long way to go. Are you happier in your space? Yes. Not even a question here. As I mentioned, it sort of still looks like we're moving because of the random boxes and the half-empty shelves, but overall I feel so much better in my space. It still has all the problems that come with an old house that is just dark and only has one way you can set it up. So I'm not totally happy with it because there are a lot of things I wish I could change that I just can't change. But it feels so much more open. It looks nicer. It looks lighter. It looks cleaner. It is so much easier to clean without all of the stuff sitting on all of the surfaces and things you have to move and sweep around and vacuum around. And my Roomba does not get into nearly as much trouble as it used to. I don't have to try to hide half of my possessions in the spare room if anybody comes over because I don't want them to think that I live in a house that doesn't have any space in it because that used to happen. But now it doesn't. Now it's just the way that it is. And that's really great. Plus, my wardrobe is pared down to too many clothes instead of excessively too many clothes. And it actually still gives me tons of options, but makes it easier to not have to flip through everything. I can actually see everything in my closet, which is really nice. How is the not buying habit building? This one is difficult. I knew it would be. It's not difficult because I'm not doing it. I am, in fact, mostly not buying things. Mostly not buying things. I did cave a few times, and I did buy some things that I really thought about a lot and decided that, yeah, I actually have a need for that. And that's okay. We are allowed to do that. You have to buy stuff you need, especially if you got rid of a bunch of stuff and then we're like, well, I'm going to have to replace those towels with something. But it still makes me a little bit resentful to not buy the things. That's what I have to work on. For better or worse, buying things has become my way of bringing small bits of joy to my life. And I know all of the advice that says, oh, it's just temporary, it's fleeting, the joy you get from the package arriving and opening it and having the new thing. Yeah, fam, that's true, but it's not universally true. So here's the thing, especially when we're not going out as much and we're not doing things and we're not leaving the house, and because I don't actually take joy from being out of my house, being social and doing things. I don't. I actually would rather not do it. I don't really want to be in proximity to other people ever. I just have a lot of anxiety that makes it very difficult for me to attend events and have experiences. And I just don't have a lot of desire to have all of my free time be taken up with coffee with these people and dinner out with these people, etc., etc. I just don't. I'm not going to say I'm an extreme introvert, but I'm definitely not an extrovert in the way that I want to hang out with friends all the time, because I don't. All of that social stuff, all of the experiences part of collect experiences, not things, it doesn't bring me joy at all. It's kind of the opposite. I often hate it. That means that I'm now saying, well, don't buy anything unless you absolutely need it. And I still think that's good because, as we've said, I have too many things and not enough money. And the only way to solve that is by not buying things unless I need them. And also, consumerism is not a good look in terms of being an environmentalist, especially. But saying don't buy things unless they fill an immediate need in your life and you've given it a lot of careful thought, and they will bring you joy and move you forward, it means that I'm kind of at a loss for what to do here. Because I went to the outlet mall because Jonas needed to return something, actually. And that used to be an activity that brought me a lot of joy. Really, I love that place. I love being there. I love the Mall of America. I love the outlet mall. I went to both of those places and I couldn't justify any of the things there as a need. There were so many things I loved that I was like, oh, I really want that. Oh, those are cute. Oh, look at these shoes. And I couldn't get them. And that just meant that a place that had once brought me a lot of joy was now a major source of frustration and anger and sadness. And that sucks. Because I don't know what to replace that with. So I'm still working on this. I'm starting to come around, I think, maybe. I don't know, because I did just buy some things I didn't need unnecessarily. It was Jonas's birthday. We went out. Some stuff happened. It's still hard. And I've caved. I did. I didn't need those things. And I love them. They make me happy. I'm glad I own them. But they weren't a need, and I don't know. Maybe I'm glad I own them is enough, but maybe it isn't, because I'm glad I own my whole wardrobe, and we've clearly proven that I don't need all of that. It's a little easier, I think, as we're moving out of winter into spring-ish. Well, we did for 2 weeks, not so much anymore. I think maybe now that I can go out and do more things outside in the sun and walk and play tennis outside and not be in my house anymore, maybe it'll get easier. I'm also really hoping that the second half of this challenge will make this easier for me. That will help me do the work of making peace with all of this and somehow bring me new sources of joy. I hope. let me know if you want me to do a video at the end of all of this or at the end of the year or something that is, here's the things I bought and why. And sometimes that why might probably be because I wanted it. And I just, maybe a little accountability. Do you want that? Do you want to see that of the ways I succeeded and the ways I struggled with not purchasing? I'm happy to do that. I'll film it kind of as I go and then just put it out at the end of all of this to show my struggles and maybe hopefully to show how I'm getting better at it. I don't know. I thought that might be interesting, but it might only be interesting for me. So let me know if you want to see that. Those are my questions and kind of how I'm feeling and where I'm at. I'm overall feeling positive. I have a little bit of frustration because I don't really know what to do with myself, but that's what we're going to deal with next. I'm terrified because the next couple weeks are fine. It's like declutter your computer, which is the most, like, you thought the wardrobe declutter was a lot. You thought the makeup declutter was a lot. You thought the book declutter was a lot. You haven't seen a lot until you have gone through all of my digital files. Anyway, we'll do that over the next few weeks. I actually have to split it up into 3 weeks because I have so much stuff. Yep. It's awesome. And then we will move on to decide what brings you joy in life. What sparks your passion? What makes you feel good? And that's the hard questions, fam. I don't know the answer to any of that. If I did, I'd be doing it. So we're going to dig deep and I'm probably going to cry. But the goal here is to come out better on the other side. We're in it together. Let me know how you did, how you felt, how your reflection went. What are you reflecting on? What is your overall feelings? Positive, negative, neutral, otherwise? Leave some comments. If you are liking this, give me a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and it will tell you when the new videos go up. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.